Good, you? Oh, I was really glad to read that Block Advantage there, where it says our associates are trained to handle any tax situation. Yep. Oh, that makes me happy. I've always done this myself, eh?
Okay.
But this year I quit Canada. I denied consent to be governed, and I'm a free man on the land now. And I filed several claims of rights with the Finance Department, the CRA, and the Bank of Canada against my birth certificate bond.
Okay.
Are you aware of the birth certificate bond?
No.
I don't know if you've ever really paid any attention to your birth certificate, but there's this unidentified number here on the back.
Okay.
So I did a lot of writing to find out what was on. I wrote to the ministers, I wrote to the finance minister, I wrote to everybody. What that is a bond tracking number. I've actually looked up its value on the stock market. I'm worth a fortune.
Really?
Yeah, this is where all the money comes from, the federal transfer payments that the government uses every year. So I filed a claim of right. I've not been rebutted in any regard from anybody. And I've been doing this for quite some time now. So instead of filling out the pink tax package, I want to start filling out the yellow one and claim all my money in escrow that the bank is keeping from me. And this gets so complicated that I figure I need to go get some professional help to do this. And I was really glad to read that you guys are trained to handle any
Well, I'm
situation.
familiar with a trust return, but a trust return is for after death.
Is after death.
Yes.
Well, I'm still alive. Does
That's
it even
right.
say death anywhere on there?
Well, I mean, that's the ones that we deal in mostly.
These are, from my understanding, the Canadian equivalents of the ones we have to use with the IRS. Because, a lot of people think Canada's a country, right? But it's just a corporation registered with the SEC in Washington, D.C. They think the United States is a country too, but that's just another corporation.
See, a trust return could be a corporation that's filing income that's flowing through the trust
Yep.
to a person, right?
Well, if I whip out this paper here, where is it? Check this out. You'll see that I've actually filed a lien at ppsa.ca for $22 million against this trust, because this is a corporation. All uppercase names are corporations. I actually spell my middle name K-E-R-K now. You'll see that on the paper.
Okay.
Yeah, Kurt. And the government does not respond to me. They write to me as K-E-R-K. I told them I'm changing my name to that. So this, as far as I know, is the trust fund. I've been going over so many processes and ways to do this. The Winston Trout method, creditors in commerce. Everybody's trying to figure it out.
You have a student loan?
I do and I don't. I've sent them several payment instruments that they're just ignoring. I've been having it's hard to deal with the government, right? I caught the Finance Department and Minister Ramona Jennings in misrepresentation, and they don't respond to me anymore after that. The Finance Department said, this doesn't have any monetary value. They won't answer my questions straight out. They say it has no monetary value. Yet Minister Ramona Jennings said that this is a unique number to identify the certificate inventory. Inventory always has value. And I'm just asking her, what's the inventory of my birth certificate? It's a birth certificate. Why is it a certificate inventory? And I can't get a response out of them, because obviously they'll incriminate themselves in something.
This isn't even signed?
No, that's an old, what is that? That's
Cancer
my...
Recovery Corporation.
Yeah, that's like some of my earlier work a couple of years ago, trying to figure out what's going on. Tons of these things in here. Letters to the Finance Department, the credit card statements.
I've never heard of a person other than a dead person filing a trust return.
Well, I want to file taxes as a creditor and not an employee of Canada. I'm no longer an employee.
I really don't know how to do that.
Does anybody here know how to do
I
that?
don't know. It's not something that we've seen. I'm here 20 years.
Maybe we call the CRA, ask them a few questions. Because I've written right to the commissioner of the CRA too, Gordon Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has not told me I'm wrong either. I sent a claim of right for this money too to him, and I sent the questions. I told him, tell me what this is. If you don't tell me what it is, I will give you the information. It will stand as true and correct.
Mm-hmm.
He had 10 business days to respond to me, and he did not.
So this is all claim, I guess.
Oh, this is old work. All my digital files are at home. You don't.
Student hardware.
Oh yeah, that's an example of a notice one. I actually filed different ones with the MLA in New Waterford and the CBRM.
Mm-hmm.
They're on YouTube. If you have a computer,
Mm-hmm.
I can just give you my YouTube page. You can watch all the videos on there. I should add too that I've paid bills with this number before too, as well as looked it up its value on the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a method to look it up on fidelity.com.
This is just
That's a notice of understanding and intent.
But I honestly have never heard of that before. Doing a trust return is so this is for corporations,
Yeah.
people that have been deceased.
Corporation. My corporation's alive and still running.
Mm-hmm. That's like a whole other ballgame with me.
That's what I want to do. I want to open the whole other ball game. It's my understanding that the banks are keeping 3 years worth of money in escrow. That's really ours.
Mm-hmm.
And then we file a T5 and a T508 against it, laying claim. It's basically a commercial lien, and then I can get all that
Like
money
what
back.
dollar value are you going to use?
I was going to let the CRA fill that out. Anything I've read about it so far says let the CRA fill it out. They know what it is. We don't know what it is.
So is it? T5 summer, T5 all rates. That's just all T5. So,
This number's worth a minimum of $1 million, I've ascertained from these public officials.
is everybody's worth $1 million?
Yep.
Like is mine?
Yep. You're worth $1 million too, minimum. The treasury value goes up 1.2 million when it's registered.
He wants to file a T3 return as a corporation. Elected revenue candidate, fill out monies on here. So what are we actually putting on here? Money? Anything?
Money other than this security? This is a security worth millions of dollars. $400,000 a year is my understanding.
He's saying the number on the back of his birth certificate is worth millions of dollars.
I've wrote to 3 offices at the Bank of Canada, the finance minister, 3 of his lackeys and lawyers, the premier of Nova Scotia, the minister at Nova Scotia Municipal Relations. I've been doing this for several years now. MLA Frank Corbett and the
Have you
CBRN.
filed tax returns up till now?
Once I found
Ever?
about this, yes, I stopped filing several years ago once I found out that there was no law that I had to do it, and I wrote to the commissioner to make sure.
Are you
'Cause-
working?
No,
You don't get any income at all?
No.
Since how long?
year at least.
Have you worked though in the past?
Oh, yeah, for
Actually
sure.
paid taxes off your monies?
Yeah, they just take it off you, right? What are you supposed to do? I haven't filed a return though, because there's no law in Canada that says I have to file a return, so why bother? Oh, that's old work. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Yeah, this is a lien I filed against it to evidence that, this isn't me. All capital names are fictions. They're corporations created by the government. And this here number is a bond tracking number. I was able to look it up on fidelity.com's website. I've wrote to everybody. No one has ever told me I'm wrong. No one will tell me I'm wrong under their oath of office or commercial liability whatsoever.
I said that's gonna open up a whole can of worms.
Yeah,
Just
like-
something like that.
If it was a corporation, corporations would file a T2.
Right? So it is a corporation. I've ascertained that. And this is value. It's generating value on the stock market right now as we speak. We could take it to a brokerage and look it up.
It's So your trust would have to go in a T2, not T3. T3 is for death.